Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to another session of online GK classes. Today we are going to start with the chapter 13 of our course. Okay, um, it is in the pattern of a choose the correct answer format, and there are 13 questions in that chapter. And let's directly move to the first question of it. The world's oldest car rally held annually. It is the Monte Carlo car rally. The holiest city of Hindus. You're all familiar with this place, Varanasi. The cirrus, cumulus, and stratus are the names of names of clouds. Okay, clouds are named by cirrus clouds, cumulus clouds, and stratus clouds, and many other similar terms are there. And obviously, these terms are used for clouds. The holiest city of the Christians, that is Jerusalem. It is a place where Jesus Christ lived most part of his life. The city known as the Queen of the Adriatic. It is Venice. It's an Italian city. The smallest country in the world. That is the next sixth question. Okay. It is Vatican City. Then the island known as the Isle of Spice. The Isle of Spice is Grenada. Then in the eighth question, the largest producer of rubber in the world. It's Thailand. Then from ninth question onwards, it is about the anniversaries of any event. Okay, 25th, 50th, 60th, 75th, and 100th anniversary. Okay, what are the terms used for that? Okay, that is what in the next 5 questions we will find. Okay, 25th anniversary, as we all know, it's known as Silver Jubilee. Then 50th is Golden Jubilee. Then 60th is Diamond Jubilee. Then 75th is Platinum Jubilee, and 100th is Centenary. Okay. Then we're moving to the next lesson, that is cities on river banks. From the very beginning of the human civilization, rivers played an important role in helping human civilization to develop. Okay, rivers play a very important role. Earlier settlers were settling near to the rivers. It was obviously because of the availability of water, and later on rivers proved more and more useful, not only for the purpose of water, in order to transfer or travel from one place to another. Also rivers proved very useful. Anyway, the present day also we can find many of the great cities, most popular cities, are near to rivers. And in this chapter, 14th chapter, we are going to see some important cities which are on the river banks from different countries of the world. Okay. One of the most famous is the first question. London on the banks of the river dash is in dash. London, that's the name of the city, on the banks of the river Thames. It is in England. Then Bonn, on the banks of the river. Bonn is the name of the town, city. Okay, it is on the bank of the river Rhine, which is in Germany. Then Cairo, on the banks of the river Nile, Egypt. Fourth one, Karachi, on the banks of the river. Karachi is that it's a place in Pakistan. It's on the banks of the river, on the bank of the river Indus. Okay. Then New York, it's a place in United States of America, and it's on the banks of the river Hudson. Then Sixth one, Quebec, on the banks of the river St. Lawrence. It's in Canada. Quebec is a place in Canada, city in Canada, and which is situated on the banks of the river St. Lawrence. Kinshasa is the name of the town which is in Congo, and the name of the river also is Congo. On the banks of the river Congo, and the country's name is also Congo. Delhi, our national capital, is on the banks of a famous river. You are already familiar with that, yeah. That is Yamuna, and yeah, it's definitely it's our national capital. So it is in India. That's what you have to write there. Rome, on the banks of the river Tiber. It's in Italy. Rome. It's a city's name. Then it's on the banks of the river Tiber, and it's in Italy. Then Paris, on the banks of the river Seine, France. France is the country's name. Paris is the city's name, and Rhine is the name of the river. Then Baghdad, on the banks of the river Tigris, which is in the country of Iraq. Belgrade, on the banks of the river Danube, and it's in the country of Serbia. Then Varanasi, on the banks of the river Ganga. It is also in India. Ganges, the river Ganga is even called Ganges. Shanghai, it's a town in China. It's on the banks of the river Huangpu. Okay, and now let's move to the next chapter, that is major events in India. Major events in India. It's all about few events that had happened in Indian history. And Indian history, if we study in detail, it's a very vast thing. And even after in Indian independence also, if you think about, we have a vast history to study, but here this chapter mentions only a few of the events that had taken place in India. India became a sovereign democratic dash on 26 January 1950. Yeah, India became republic on that day, on 26 January 1950. First general dash of the Lok Sabha was held in 1951-52. First general election. Then third one, India was at war with dash in the year 1962. India was at war with China in 1962. Pakistan attacked dash in the year 1965. In 1962 it was China, and in 1965 it was Pakistan who attacked India. The birth of dash took place after the Indo-Pak War in the year 1971. Birth of Bangladesh. The country Bangladesh was born on this occasion, on this year 1971. First Indian satellite named dash launched in the year 1975. The name of the first Indian satellite was Aryabhatta, and that is the word to be filled in the blank. Then seventh one, dash war took place between India and Pakistan in the year 1999. It's the famous Kargil war, and I think that's one of the popular wars that we have fought against Pakistan. India won the cricket cricket dash twice in the year 1983 and 2011. Okay, two times we have won Cricket World Cup under the captaincy, once in 1983 under the captaincy of Kapil Dev, and in 2011 under the captaincy of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. We have India won Cricket World Cup twice. On 24th September 2014, the Mangalyaan Mars craft successfully entered into an orbit around the planet Mars. Mangalyaan, you know that it's a Mars mission, and on 24th of September 2014, the Mars craft Mangalyaan reached into Mars's orbit. On 31st October 2019, the state of Jammu and Kashmir was bifurcated into two union territories, divided into, earlier it was a state with special provisions, and this state of Jammu and Kashmir is divided into two union territories, that is as Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Okay, division, bifurcation means dividing has occurred. And at the last of this lesson 15, it's about a verdict of Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid issue. This decades old issue was settled by Supreme Court of India, and that is the word to be filled. Okay, on 9th November 2019, the Supreme Court of India gave the verdict on the decades old Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid land dispute in Ayodhya. Okay, so with that, now we have come to an end of 15th chapter, and now it is 16th chapter, or rather today's last chapter, major events in the world. Some major events that occurred in the world history are given below, and we have to pick the correct name and fill in the blank space. That is what you're supposed to do. The first one is about Julius Caesar, who invaded Dash twice in 55 and 54 BC. Julius Caesar is he was a Roman emperor, and he invaded Britain twice. Okay, Britain is the country's name to be filled there. Francis Xavier, a Christian missionary, reached Dash in 1542 AD. Francis Xavier reached Goa in 1542 AD. And the third one, Dash declared independence on 4th July 1776 under the leadership of George Washington. America, George Washington is the first president of that country. The Red Cross Society was founded by Jean Henry Dunant in 1864. Red Cross, you might have heard of Red Cross and its activities all over the world in order to help, especially during the wartime and all. They have played a very great role. The First World War, originally called the Dash, raged from 1914 to 1918. Great War. It was called as Great War. Then the Second World War began in 1939. It ended when US aircraft dropped Dash on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Hiroshima and Nagasaki are two populous cities of Japan, and the Second World War had ended by America's action of putting atom bombs on these towns. So the word to be filled is atom bomb. First artificial Dash was launched by USSR, United Socialist states of Russia in 1957, and in 1961 Dash of USSR became the first person to fly in the space. There are two blanks in that question. One is satellite, first artificial satellite, and the second blank is the name of the first person to fly in space, that is Yuri Gagarin. In 1991, Gulf War took place, in which Dash got freedom with the defeat of Iraq. Kuwait got freedom with the defeat of Iraq. Then in the next question, Sri Lankan Civil War ended in the year 2009 when Sri Lankan government defeated LTTE after 26 years of fighting. Okay. Then question number 10. On 2 May 2011, Dash, the leader of Al-Qaeda, was killed in Pakistan by United States Navy SEALs. It is Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda. Okay, the name to be filled is that. On 4th September 2016, Dash of Kolkata was declared a saint by Pope Francis in a ceremony at the Vatican. Mother Teresa, saint of Kolkata. Okay, so she was declared a saint. And the last question, on 27th October 2019, ISIS chief Dash al-Baghdadi killed himself during the US military operation in the northwest Syria. It's Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. He was killed by himself during the US military operation. And with this, we have come to an end of today's session. Until we meet again in the next class with the forthcoming chapters. Keep safe, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.